Hey, look at that. Look at that. Already got a subscriber. Hey, how's it going, guys? How's it going? How is it going? It's been a while since I've really been live on this channel. Normally I would stream on Twitch to do reactions, but I like going live when there's a guest. And here we have a guest. We have David Heretic. Is that like the video game, or is it just sounding cool?
I'm hearing some really bad echo.
Well, I mean, what about now?
It's like a 7-second delay.
Okay, then maybe we should have had this figured out, taken care of it before. Go and say something real fast.
Something?
Yeah, you're coming in front of mine. Let's see. I mean, it should be going through just fine.
Something again?
Yeah, I mean, I hear you fine. I hear you fine, David. But you're saying I coming in. There's a delay.
It's just like a 7-second delay. I'm hearing you twice.
Oh, that's.
I'm hearing you now, and then I'm hearing you 7 seconds later.
Well, looks like we might have to get this taken care of. Postpone real fast.
You just asked me. You just asked me about a delay again. This is weird.
Okay, check your Discord settings real fast. Let's see. As I'm checking my side too.
Noise suppression.
You said you hear me twice. What do you hear yourself?
Yes, which is also confusing.
You hear yourself. Okay.
I hear myself on. Hey.
Interesting. Okay. Well,
yeah. I hear. Okay. I hear you live, and then I hear you 7 seconds later with me.
Do you have the stream up?
No.
Okay.
Oh wait. Do I? Oh, don't tell me. I don't want to hear a word. I don't want to hear a word. Not one word. Not one word.
I have to say, like, the settings on my mixer are fine, but it happens. It happens, David. It happens. Sometimes, there's technical issues. Sometimes it's kind of like Spinal Tap, the movie Spinal Tap. No matter what you do, I love
that movie.
No matter what you do, there's always a technical issue, and it's like, God dang it.
This was my Spinal Tap moment. Yes, there we go. Delay's gone. Ha ha! Magic works. It really does. All right, we're good now.
All right, David. So
can we start over?
Okay.
There are no start overs in live
It's
radio.
live. We're doing it live. We're doing it live. It's
live.
It builds character. It builds character. Okay. So David Heretic, where does your name come from? Where does your name come from?
That's a great question. It's a question that's been asked before. I came up with the name Heretic because there's a big misconception about heretics. When people hear the name Heretic, the first thing they think of is anti-religion or anything like that. Believe it or not, heretic actually stands for an individual who speaks their mind and stands by what they say. And they have their own belief system and they have their own thought process, and they're not going to be swayed by the masses. So, like, if people will say, oh, we love this band. There's millions of people who love a band. I may not personally like them. And rather than sit there and conform to what everyone else does, I'm going to stand up and say I don't like them. And I have been branded a heretic from time to time. So, yeah, that's how that name came around.
Well, imagine that'll happen. Being a fellow reactor, I'm sure you give your opinion about various bands, and maybe some people don't like them, and they'll brand you as a heretic.
They absolutely do.
Are there some? Oh, we kind of get into the weeds there on that. We could. Let me table that real fast. First, let's get. How did you get started in this?
Going back a ways. Okay. I used to be a part of a radio stream, like a internet radio station. And everybody really liked me as a DJ because I have a great voice and I do great voice inflections and I seem like a very personable guy. And somebody said, you should do a reaction channel. I'm like, what in the heck is a reaction channel? I've never even heard of this. So they pointed me in the direction of a couple, and I watched them, and I was like, okay, I kind of get where this is going. But I'm really busy with my music career, and I'm really busy with touring. I'm really busy with, performing live, and I really don't have time to do a YouTube channel. Well, then the pandemic hit. And as you know, live play came to a complete standstill.
Right.
So I didn't want to sit at home bored, stuff in my face and playing, PlayStation all day long. I wanted to do something. I wanted to entertain the masses as much as I possibly can, given the circumstances. So I figured I would do this reaction show that everybody talked about. So I watched a bunch of different reactors, watching songs that I already knew. Like I saw a whole bunch of people reacting to Metallica, like old Metallica, like Master of Puppets and Battery and Creeping Death and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, I get the gist. I get the idea. Metallica. Yeah, exactly. That, my opinion as well. Cliff Burton days. But I was watching them. I'm like, okay, I'm watching these guys and I'm seeing some similarities. And I don't want to fall into the same trap as all these other guys are doing. I mean, doing the same thing. I want to be different. So how am I going to be different? Well, I'm going to be 100% honest, 100% of the time. If I don't like it, I'm going to say I don't like it. And that's really all there is to it. I'm not going to sit there and pretend like I've, never heard a song when I have. And that's happened a lot on the channel where I'm not even sure if I've heard the song or not. I'll start to react to it and I'll be like, oh God, I've heard this song before. Okay. Well, sorry folks. It's no longer a reaction. So
well, you could bend the rules a bit. I mean, initial reactions would be like, well, okay, it's not an initial reaction. You know what? The Warning More, that song, I reacted to that song like 5 times. Like,
oh no!
How many times can I react to this song?
There's that too, where I love that. I love when that happens. You probably heard this too. You watched the wrong video. You should have watched this video. It's 10 times better, right? Have you gotten that one?
I've gotten that one, but I actually kind of like that. It's like I kind of see it as like kind of constructive.
Sure.
Like I got that with Angelina Jordan, which I've been reacting to her videos. Phenomenal singer, phenomenal. And they'll be like, oh, okay, but this version is better. This version, and I'm like, I listen to them. I was like, you know what? I see what you mean. It is better, but there's something I liked about the other one as well. Yeah. But yeah.
Of course.
But to go back real fast. So wait. Someone you worked as a DJ at a radio station, and even there they were like, "Hey, you got to do a reaction channel."
No. It wasn't an actual radio station. It's just an internet streaming radio program where you sit in your house and you pretend to be a DJ and you play songs and play requests and you talk to the people and stuff like that. And well, I was apparently I was one of the best DJs at the station because everybody loved listening to my program. So. Well, that's how this came about. It was like, your voice is so good and you have such great voice inflections and you'd be a really good reactor on a YouTube channel. I was like, what is that? What are you talking about? So,
yeah. Well, that's pretty cool. I didn't even know that was a thing. So I learned that. So it was like an online radio station.
Yep, so, live.
So people would go there when you can go to like, that's weird because you can go to like YouTube Music or Spotify and kind of listen to your own thing. But I guess people like want the DJ aspect still, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
That's correct.
Interesting. That's kind of cool. And all right. So when you got into this, you wanted to do something unique. You wanted to express your opinion. Be authentic. And has that doing that? Like, what are the ups and downs with doing that?
The ups and downs. Okay, that's a great question, and it was a question that was actually asked of me when I did the. When I did the interview for Fox News, the ups and downs. Here are
you were on Fox News.
I was. I was. They did a segment on reaction channels.
What?
And yeah, you didn't. I'm surprised you didn't hear about that because I got crucified. I got crucified and blacklisted from the reactions scene. Reactors hate me.
Are you radioactive? Should I not be talking to you? It's okay. I'm
apparently, but that's okay. No, a lot of reactors don't like me because I didn't call anybody out, but I did shed light on a problem. And
Okay.
but I never pointed fingers. I never named names. So all these reactors that came to me and said, "You embarrassed me and you called me out." And I'm like, I never mentioned your name. If you feel exposed and you feel called out, maybe it's because you fall under that umbrella that I called out, you know, but maybe that's it. But I never named anyone's name. I never pointed any fingers at anybody. But a lot of people felt attacked by what I said, and I found that to be entertaining. No, I did this whole thing on the reaction channels and how it's affecting the music scene and how it's helping a lot of unnamed artists and a lot of little known bands get a lot of free exposure.
That's for sure.
And yet copyright companies and record labels, you know, hammer us all the time. I come to find out it's not even the record labels. Bands love reaction channels, I found out. Bands love us. And record labels, to some extent, even love us. It's the publishing companies that don't like us. It's the people who actually hold the copyright. They're the ones that don't like us. So
yeah,
they're the ones who are all calling the shots. So getting back to your original question,
do you ever have you ever done a reaction and a member of the band will leave a comment and be like, "Thanks for
yes.
You know, that's pretty cool when it happens, huh?"
Yes,
it's nice.
Absolutely. God, Lord, what was it? Lords of the Fallen, I think is the name of the band. They every time I do a reaction to them, they leave a message. God, what was that vocalist? Oh shoot. I've done a couple of reactions to this guy. He has a band. He's appeared with a couple of super groups, but he's got his own thing. And every time I do a reaction to him, he's always one of the first commenters.
Not sure.
Yeah, I don't remember either. Hold on, let me look it up. I know exactly what to look for.
I'm actually probably more knowledgeable about Japanese bands than I am about
this is a European band.
Oh, European band? Oh, then I probably wouldn't even know at all. But there's something I wanted to ask about. Just I'm curious.
Sure.
So okay, you were on Fox News talking about reaction channels, and some reactors were upset by what you said. I mean,
most of them.
What happened? What was said?
I just said, you know, that there's I don't know if this has ever happened to you. I know it's happened to a couple of reactors where we are approached by record labels, A&R guys, you know, representatives of the band members themselves, and they ask you to do a reaction to their band, right? Has that ever happened to you?
Not necessarily. Not yet. Not yet.
It will. I promise you it will. So now this is not every band, this is not every artist, this is not every record label, but there have been times where I've been approached and I'll say, okay, I would love to. Tell me what's involved and tell me how I can help you guys. And then they proceed to throw a script at me. Like they want you to say these things. You make sure you mention this, and this, and we're going to pay you to say these things. At that point, I'm sorry. I don't care what anybody says. At that point, it's no longer a reaction. It's a commercial.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm here for. So I tell them to F off and I'm like, look, I don't want your money and I don't want your script. If you want me to react to your music, I will do it. I will absolutely do it. But I don't want a script. I don't want bullet points. I don't even want your money. I will gladly do it for you, but I'm going to do it my way, and I'm going to be honest. And if I don't think it's good, I'm going to say it's not good. And their response is, well, that's not how we work. You know, we can't have you slandering our band. We can't have you say anything negative about our artists and blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, I guess we can't do business then. The problem is, if they're doing that to me, they're doing that to other reactors as well. And I know there are probably other reactors. I'm not saying who, I'm not pointing fingers, but I'm sure there are reactors out there who will take that money and will take that script and go, okay, I can work with this. You know, that comes down to ethics. And listen, they need to make a buck. They need to make a living. I understand that. And that's fine. Look, at the end of the day, if they can go to sleep at night, happy with that, more power to them. Just me personally, I can't do that. And I won't do that.
It's easy when you got a stack of money. You get some money from someone.
I'm sure it is.
I'm just messing.
I'm sure it is. And Ronnie Reck, he said the same thing when he was on the interview with me. he said the same thing. We're in this golden age, and it'd be a real shame if all of a sudden people start taking advantage of that system and start getting paid to say favorable things and not be
it's going to happen. It's going to be like a payola a scheme.
It's already happening. It's already happening.
Yeah,
I'm sure
from what you're talking about. This is the first I'm hearing about it, but it doesn't sound too out there. It actually sounds like it would be something that they would do, like a standard practice, actually.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, us as reactors, I got a lot of criticism for saying this, but I'm sorry, I stand by it. We are the modern day Rolling Stone. We are the digital age Rolling Stone. Back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s and 90s, Rolling Stone magazine would do all these reviews and all these, interviews, and they would review albums, and they would critique the albums, and they would score the albums, and they would recommend you to buy it. Well, guess what? That's what us reactors are doing now. I'm not saying we're journalists. I'm not saying that. I'm saying we're average, everyday people who are voicing our opinion. And a lot of people happen to agree with our opinions. Mm-hmm. And we have exposed people to new bands. I can't tell you how many times I've had people on my channel say, I've never even heard of Love Bites until I saw them on your channel. I really like them. I like them so much, I went and bought 3 of their albums. And I'm like, you're welcome. You're welcome, Love Bites. I don't think Love Bites even cares that I'm doing this. I don't even think they even know I exist.
I think they notice. I think they noticed a few of mine. That's kind of why sometimes I love those moments. Remember when they will like retweet or to kind of seem like they kind of notice a little bit. It's like, oh, that's so cool. That's so cool.
Yeah. I'll give you a heart.
I don't know, man.
Your video got a like from this band. Yeah.
Yeah. Like particular members is like, oh, okay, that's cool. I like that a lot. But
yeah.
So all right, so
how did you get into the reaction? How did you get into the reaction scene?
Man, it's a few years ago, almost like 3 years ago. I was already doing reactions, like baby metal and stuff, but on a different channel where I would normally talk about like horror movies and things like that. But I just made it its own thing. And the idea initially was to do some reactions and then also rant about things that like pissed me off. But more so lately, it's been more chill than rants. It's rant and chill, but it's been more chill vibes lately because it seems like that's what people like that. And also, it's like, yeah, sure, I could rant about the things that piss me off. And I'm sure they piss you off too. But like everyone does that. You can get to anywhere. And
Precisely.
It's like maybe not to really distract ourselves from all the BS around us, but let's have just enjoy some good music, enjoy a good music video, whatever, and just chill.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. There are 1,000 channels out there where you can catch people ranting about certain things happening in the world or whatever. But I mean, why would you want to do what everyone else is doing? You know what I mean?
Right.
Do something different. I dig your vibe, man. The first time I saw the first video you did to my very first reaction to Love Bites, dude, I loved that video. I thought that was a great video.
Yeah.
I watched it. Yeah, absolutely I did. And I dug it, man. The reason I liked it, number one, it's different. You're doing a reaction to a reaction. And I think I made the comment on that video of, now I need to do a reaction of your reaction to my reaction, and we're going to start a chain going.
Dude, that was so cool.
I loved your reaction, though. I really did. You were so laid back, and you were just, I loved it, man. You had the Ponch glasses on, and you had the stogie going. I'm like, dude, this looks like some dude I could hang with, like on my off time. I could absolutely chill with this guy. Hey, just out of curiosity, I know in your about me video, your intro video, you were talking about smoking a cigar and drinking a beer. Do you drink anything besides beer?
Sometimes whiskey every now and then, like
nice.
Gentleman Jack.
What kind?
Gentleman Jack.
So you like a Gentleman Jack? Okay, so that's a sour match. Do you like bourbons at all?
I mean, I don't particularly go for them, but yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna turn them down. So that's
I will keep that in mind.
Okay. all right.
You have a PO box?
No, not yet. That's one thing I've been asked. You get a PO box so we could send you things. Like, okay, I'll work on that.
You Get a PO box. Number one, it's a tax write-off for your business.
Oh, well, that's cool. That's
So
cool.
yeah, it's not a bad investment.
Now, I've been watching some of your videos, and I do really like how you have a very consistent structure, and then like you talk a little bit about the band you're going to watch or the music video you're going to watch. You do your reaction, and then you do your breakdown of it, right?
Right.
And you seem to express yourself very like you say how you feel. Like you're not beating around the bush or trying to like.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, you are very directed that way. And
no, I beat around the bush quite a bit, actually.
You do?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I'll be the first to admit I do. I try to be. I don't want to be like brutally harsh, but at the same time, I want to get my point across. But there is some politics involved in that, and sometimes you have to kind of play devil's advocate, and not to say, okay, if I don't like something, I'm going to make it very clear I don't like it, but I'm not going to sit there and slam the hell out of it.
Yeah,
you know.
Right.
But I'm gonna be very nice about it. But that is kind of beating around the bush a little bit.
Oh, okay.
So no, I'm political. I can absolutely be political, but I will get my point across.
Yeah. I recently did a reaction to Nanowar. I think Nanowar is the name of the band. I think.
Metal War.
Not Manowar. That one I'm familiar with. This is like Nanowar of Steel or something. It was
Metal War of Steel. Yes.
Disco metal.
I've heard of them.
It was my first time reacting to them, and I didn't quite understand what was going on. Like to me, it looked like I was not a fan of it. And it looked like the song sounded like something that would be for Hotel Transylvania, like the kids movie. And I get the horror vibe from it because I like horror movies and stuff, and like.
Oh yeah.
But I just didn't quite get it, and I was being kind of nice about it. But then again, I got feedback from the fans saying that you didn't quite understand. It was a parody, of actually overproduced or pre-produced music. I was like, oh, okay, I didn't quite get that. But, they have directed me to check out, other things as well. So I'll give it another try.
Sure.
Give it another try. But with that
Absolutely.
said, I was sharing that at a moment where, like, expressing my opinion kind of like, yeah, I guess upset some fans, but I also got some, I guess, constructive criticism. Has that ever happened with you?
Absolutely.
Oh,
You're not
man.
gonna. One thing I've learned in life, and by doing this channel, you're not gonna please everybody.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure.
You are just not. Yeah, and people, and I'm not pointing fingers at anybody, but people have a tendency to have selective hearing, and sometimes people hear things that were said, but they take it in the wrong way, or they completely misconstrue what I say. I saw in the comments before this started, it was right at the top of the chat. One of your viewers asked you to confront me about how I insulted the guitar player from Nemophila. I don't know if you see that in the chat. Go up to the top.
You mean nemophila?
I see. There's another thing. How to pronounce band names. I think the first time I pronounced it, I said nemophila, and people were like, "No, it's pronounced Nemophila," and I'm like, "All right, fine, Nemophila, whatever."
Oh.
Listen, now you're saying another way. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know. I've never spoken to the band, so I don't know.
Oh. Well, it's a name of a flower, and it's a nemophila. It's a type of flower. It's like very blue and all that stuff. And the band will say it too. So yeah, that's where I usually get that from. But it is common when people see that band nemophila to be like nemophilia, but it's like no, it's not that sounds like necrophilia. He's like nemophilia. It's not a fetish. It's not a sexual fetish with like flowers. That would be kind of weird.
No, it's not.
But okay, so yeah, they did ask about that. So some people do feel like whenever you express an opinion, you like the general you, not you directly, but whenever reactors express opinions about various band members, they may feel like it's an attack or anything like that.
Yeah.
Do you know what he is talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly what he's talking about,
Okay.
and this is another example of selective hearing. I never once insulted her. I never once insulted Saki. Number one, I didn't even know what her name was at the time. So how in the world could I insult her by name? There are two guitar players in there. I was talking about the guitar players. I said, and this is where people selective hearing comes into play. I personally, this is what I said, I personally was not the biggest fan of their tone because it was bleeding over. And that was as a result of the room that they were playing in. It was a square room. Of course, it's going to bounce off the walls. But it caused bleed over into the live mics that they were using. So that's the only comment I made, was I wasn't a big fan of the tone because it was bleeding over into each other, and it was bleeding over into the overall sound. When they would try to stop, you would hear that decay. It's natural to happen because it's in a square room. And people took that as, I'm attacking the girls. Oh, these poor defenseless girls. This guy with long hair is attacking these poor defensive women. Number one, let's get something straight here. These girls don't care about anything I say. I promise you. They have much more important things to worry about than what I think, okay? Number two, it's my opinion. If you're going to get seriously all bent out of shape and butthurt over my opinion, you need help, like professional help. Seriously, think about the quality of your life and get over it. I loved it when you were doing your I loved it when you did the second video and you kept pre-framing. David, I nothing personal. Please understand, I'm not attacking you. And the funny thing is, I never took one single thing you said as an attack. Not one thing. I agreed with you on a lot of things that you said. So I was like, yeah, he's got a point. He's another, and there's another valid point. I never took what anything as you said as attack. I want to clear the air for everybody listening, everybody watching. Dude, I got no beef with you at all. I think you're a cool guy, man. I really do. Yeah. And I really hope you and I can work together on some other things.
And some of this, like in that particular situation, I don't know the full context or really the video that you reacted to or anything like that.
Your second video where it was too much of a... It was a good, like, is being too good a problem or something like that?
I was referencing to the guy that was upset about the opinion expressed about Saki or of nemophila. And
him.
That's kind of a situation where he himself would know because of, like, you know, what he heard or what he thought he heard or whatever. And it's not really my battle, so to speak, or my concern, so to speak, necessarily, but it is something that was, you know, a criticism that was wanted to be brought up. And
I don't know why he's doing it on your channel either. He's trying to put you in the middle of it. I'm like, dude, if you got a problem with me, come to me.
That David guy has been pretty good with me. But yeah. But there is, like, whenever we express opinions about bands and particular members, there are times where we may get into situations and upset some people. I've done it myself with Bandmade. Okay. I like Bandmade, but they're not my favorite band. I'm not a maniac.
No, I'm not either. They're not my favorite. Like, if I had my choice between listening to LOVEBITES and Bandmade, 90% of the time, I'm probably going to go with LOVEBITES.
Yeah.
That's not to say that I don't enjoy Bandmade. I like everything they've done for the most part. I've really enjoyed, and there have been some banger songs that they've put out where I've been like, this sounds more like LOVEBITES than it does Bandmade. This is metal. Oh my God, this is impressive. You know, but if push comes to shove, and if I had to choose, like someone put a gun to my head and said, pick one, and I would say, okay, LOVEBITES. You know, I'm sorry, but that's what I'm going to pick.
Yeah, and that's
I know you're in the same boat.
That's the opinion that I expressed as well. Though I think what I did was do a whole I did a video saying which one's better, Bandmade or LOVEBITES. And that pissed them off. They're like, how dare you compare them? You can't compare them. It was like, well, people have compared bands that don't necessarily sound the same either, like Led Zeppelin and Pink Floyd. It's like, well,
oh God,
it's like that comparison's kind of weird. But people have done that. Or the Beatles or Elvis. It's like that comparison. Well, no, one's not. You know, that's not like heavy metal or hard rock or anything. You know, Bandmade and LOVEBITES kind of hard to compare. But what I was saying is that I understand that you can say some things that can, you know, upset some fan bases. And now when that happens, though, like has there been a situation? Let's see. Where you upset at like either the LOVEBITES fan base or the Warning fan base?
Absolutely.
All right.
My very first video for the Warning.
Oh, what happened, man?
they did a cover of Metallica's Atlas Rise. Now, I had heard the song before, so I told everybody at the beginning of the video that I had heard that song by Metallica. Wasn't a fan of it. I wasn't a big fan of that song from the get-go. But I was willing to give the warning a shot because I wanted to see how they were going to put their own spin on it. I've never heard the warning before. I had never even heard of the warning. So it was new, and I was like, let's give it a shot. And I was actually pretty impressed with them. I think I gave them an 8.0, which for doing a cover of a Metallica song on top of a song that I don't like, to get an 8.0, that is hard, you know? But I gave him an 8.0. I made a couple of comments about Ale's light up bass neck because I remember those being kind of a fad in like the early 90s. I was reading, whenever I would read Bass Player magazine, I would see an advertisement for those light up necks, and I always thought they were a bit of a gimmick. And I said that, but I never attacked the girls. I never said anything negative about the girls. I thought they were really good. And I even said so. Boy, the hate, the hatred I got. Dude, no BS. I'm being honest to God with you. I was getting death threats. People were wishing death threats. People were like, you better hope I never find out where you live. And I better never come across you on the street or I'm going to beat your ass. And I hope your wife, but this was my favorite. I hope your wife and kids get cancer. And I'm like, number one, I don't have kids. Yes. Dude, these people were
what sphere are we in on YouTube? Are we in the, okay, we're reactors, right? Okay. But, but help me out here, David. So you rated it at 8. Which is a good rating.
It's a great rating. It's a great score.
But how did rating at an 8 lead to death threats?
Because I made comments about Ale's neck, the neck on the bass, and how it lit up. They thought I was making fun of it. I wasn't making fun of it, and I was making fun of the neck, but I was not making fun of her for using it. I just said that the neck was a gimmick thing because it was popular in the 90s, and I thought it was really funny that she was using one. But I never made fun of her for it. I never stood there and said, oh, she needs that neck to light up so she can see what she's playing. I never said that. I never said that. But, you know, people took it as I was attacking Ale. Once again, oh, our poor little Ale's getting attacked. Again, the girls don't care about what some reactor says about them. They've got bigger things to worry about, like conquering the world, which they're currently doing. You know, they don't care what I say. They don't care what I think. They don't give two wits about me. Their record label doesn't care about me. Their publishing company doesn't care about me. Their parents don't care about me. So I don't see why the fans feel the need to jump on me and attack me in defense of poor little Ale. But that's what it was. And I was like, wow, I'm never doing a warning reaction ever again.
So wait. So you made some comments about the light on the neck of the base.
Yeah.
And that led to, I hope your family gets cancer?
Yes.
Like, okay. I feel like I'm missing something a little bit. Like, was there some pushback or something? Was there a back and forth, like on like Twitter or something? I mean,
no. I stay off Twitter. Okay. I have a Twitter account, but I never go on it. Nobody knows my Facebook account. I keep that for family only.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And I stay off social media for the most part. I use Instagram just to promote my reactions that are coming out for the month. That's all I do on it. My only interaction is on here and on Patreon. And this was before I had Patreon. This was when it was just the YouTube channel.
Okay. So
this was all in the comments. It was all in the comments. And I had to go through and read all of these hateful things, and I had to block so many people. And it was like, dear Lord. And I remember I actually made a video, expressing that I am never going to do another warning video never again, because I don't need this kind of hate. I don't need this kind of negativity. And quite frankly, it's just not worth it. So I said, no more warning reactions. Then I got a whole bunch of people from the warning army going, oh, give them another chance. Those knuckleheads that, said those things, they don't represent all of us. We like the fact that you even gave the girls attention. Please consider doing another one. So I said, all right, fine. I'll do one more. But if I get one negative comment like that. I mean, you guys can express disagreement with me. I don't care. That's fine. Please disagree with me. I like it when people disagree with me, but do it in a respectful way.
Right.
Don't sit there and wish cancer on my family. That was the worst, man. So I did another one. I think it was to Dust to Dust. I think was my second one. It was either Dust to Dust.
Oh, yeah, that's one of my favorite songs. Okay.
Dude, I loved it. I loved it.
That bass intro is so good.
It is.
And when they play
I loved that intro.
And when they play it live, when they extend that thing, man, that is so good. That is so good.
So I did my second reaction to that, and I was like, I like this better than that cover they did. That their original songs are good.
They are.
I wonder what else they've got. Man, the flood of positivity that came in. It was like it got to the point where I was getting diabetes. I was like, man, you guys are all being a little too sugary sweet to me now.
So I guess what happened there, not to take anyone's side on this, to try to be like,
Go ahead,
respectful.
be political. It's fine.
I guess one way to phrase it. It's I guess they perceived it as an attack against is it I guess would be Elle or Alejandra. Perceived it as an attack against her, and somehow maybe it was the voice or the tone, not exactly sure, or the words that were used.
All I did was make a comment about her light up neck. That's all I said. I swear, you can go watch it. Go watch that. The video's still up. Go watch it. You'll see. I didn't criticize her voice. I didn't criticize her playing. I thought her playing was actually really solid. Yeah. And this was when she was younger, so she's only gotten better.
You know what's interesting about that?
Never criticized anything about her personally.
Have you thought about like how amazing they have developed and like how they are like they sound so. I mean, they sounded good then. Don't get me wrong, but their sound has improved so much, and even they have said in interviews that sometimes when they look at their earlier stuff, it's kind of hard at times because they were so young. They had like they even described it as almost like child voices because it was like that. But what I was saying is it's just so amazing to see how they have improved over time, and it's just. You think about it, it's a short duration for them actually because they started so young. They have all the time they could possibly need to conquer musically. Man, so good.
I agree. No, I made that. I've said it in a couple of videos, and I remember actually I think it might have been my third or fourth reaction to the warning. I made this prediction, and I said it's going to be fun to watch these girls grow and develop as not just young women, but as performers, not even as musicians. I mean, I say performers because they're not just playing music. They are going on stage. They are putting on a show. They are putting on it, and they're only going to get better. They do the visual and the audio both in a live setting. So I said it's going to be fun to watch these girls evolve. And it just, if you look at the progression over the years, the sound's gotten tighter, vocals have gotten even better, their stage presence has gotten even better. Yeah. I love Ale. I don't know if you know this. I don't know if your viewers have told you this. I have a nickname for Ale.
Oh yeah, what's that?
Little Jean.
Little Jean. Okay. All right.
Little Jean Simmons. If you watch her,
okay.
Watch her movements and motions, like the knee lifts and the hunching and the shoulder back and the raising of the neck and the coming down and the squatting down that she does. I watch her and I go back and I watch mid 70s, like not Cabo Hall, but like Dallas, Texas in 76 when they were supporting the Destroyer album, or go even further forward, like maybe 78 where they were supporting the Love Gun album. And they had like the light up steps that go down. And they had the elevators that came out and dropped him down. If you watch Gene Simmons during that time, he's doing all the same stuff that she's doing. And I'm like, she is a performer. She gets it. Mm. She absolutely does. And for me to compare anyone to Gene Simmons as a performer, that is about the highest compliment I could possibly give someone. Because when it comes to being a performer on stage, he is, to me, I think he's the greatest bass performer as far as movement, motion, and putting on the best show possible that I know of. I model a lot of my own playing after him. A lot of the stuff I do on stage, I model after him. And I watch her and I'm like, God, that's exactly what I would do at that point too. That's exactly how I would move at that part of the song too. And it's fun to watch her, man. I'm like, God,
it is. It really
there've been
is.
a couple of times where I've watched her. I'm like, I'm going to steal that.
I mean, they're very animated. You know, when they play, they move around on stage. They feel that
more now.
They feel that presence. You know, and it's
even
just
more now.
three. It's just three people, and
yeah,
they're small. I don't mean that in a bad way, but they're small. They're they're small framed, but yet they feel the stage.
They do.
It is amazing.
Even more now.
Yeah.
Like about 3 or 4 years ago, Danny was still kind of being a slave to her mic. Like 3 or 4 years ago, she was still kind of standing in front of her mic the whole time because she was afraid to leave her mic because she was afraid to miss her mark. You know what I mean? I don't blame her.
Hey, David, we're
I
gonna
don't blame
stop
her
right
at
there.
all.
You referenced slave. Okay, that's not use that. I was just messing. I was just messing with the term. Oh, it's okay. You got to be more PC now.
Okay, fine. Indentured servant to her microphone. Fine. No, but she wouldn't move from her mic. She would just stand there the whole time, and she would play her heart out, and she would sing her heart out, but she would be afraid to move away from her mic because she didn't want to miss her mark. And I was like, it'd be a shame. I would love to see her move away. And about a year or two ago, she really started to move away from her mic quite a bit. And she would go over and interact with Ollie, and she would go back and interact with Pow. She would move around to the very front of the stage and interact with the crowd. And I was like, now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
Yes. It's all in evolution. It's all development. It's experience. And I said this in my last reaction that I did to the girls. No, actually, no, I did that. I'm sorry. It was in my concert review. I said this. And I made the comparison that iron sharpens iron. If you look at the bands that the Warning have been playing with the last 2 or 3 years,
right?
They played with the Foo Fighters. They played with Muse. They played with Hailstorm. They've played with all these different bands who have given them good advice, pushed them, even involuntarily, and not even meaning to push them, but just by being around them, motivated the Warning to go, you know what? We need to be at that level. We need to get up to that standard. And they end up pushing themselves to get even better. And then they are so close. They are right there. I seriously believe in the next, by the end of 2024, they're going to be headlining arenas. They're going to be the headliners. And all these people that opened up for them they were opening up for are going to end up opening up for them. They're going to have what I call the Kiss effect.
Oh,
you know, when Kiss started out, they opened for the New York Dolls. They opened for Ted Nugent. 3 years later, the New York Dolls and Ted Nugent were opening for Kiss. And I think it's going to happen here with the Warning too.
It could definitely happen. As far as talk about the Warning as well, what are your what are your favorite songs?
Oh God. Well, Dust to Dust. I love that song. I love that bass line.
Yeah.
There is a song that I did a reaction to, 21st Century Blood. I love that song, and I love the message behind that song. It is so important in this day and age. Folks, get out of your screens. Seriously.
I'm guessing
get
you
your
also
noses
I'm guessing you also saw the music video, right?
Yes.
That music, man, when I saw that, I thought I was watching an episode.
What a great video.
I thought I was watching an episode of Breaking Bad. I was like, what am I watching here? This is so cool.
So well produced.
Yeah.
So well directed. So well shot. I'm sitting here watching this going, this looks like a big budget production. It really does. This looks like a multi-million-dollar music video. And they didn't have that kind of money back then. So I know a lot of this was shot on the fly and on the run because they didn't have permits. So they would literally go in, get their shot, and get out before the police were called, you know?
Man, maybe they pulled some favors. I don't know. Maybe they knew some people.
They may have.
I don't know.
They very well may have. But I know a lot of music. I know a lot of bands do that where they will do, you know, on the run, where they'll go and they'll shoot for 5-10 minutes, get their shots, and get out of there before someone calls the cops.
Oh,
because permits are not cheap, man.
They're not. I used to do some very, very low budget little horror shorts or zombie shorts or whatever. And, would film in public places, and I didn't get a permit or anything. You just did it illegally.
Just did it quick and get out of there.
Yep.
No, but that was a great music video. I remember, man, that was one of the highest scores I've ever given The Warning was for that video and for that song. I loved it. Evolve. I really like that song.
Evolve is amazing. I think it probably did like 3 or 4 videos in that. Yeah. What about Disciple? Where does Disciple go for you?
Liked it.
Yeah.
Really liked it. I really liked
strong
it.
message, huh?
Very strong message and very strong song. I mean, as far from a songwriting standpoint, it's hooky as hell. It has got hooks all over the place.
It is.
Love that song. One song I wasn't too big on, and it's not that it's a bad song. It's just it's not my favorite. Was Money, which is funny because my wife loves that song.
You know what? I kind of like that song too. Like I really do like that song. I know it's a simple one. I think today I did watch your reaction to that. I was like, well, I see what it means. I think he said that it's not very complicated. It doesn't really stand out.
Stuff.
But it's like
a lot of the stuff they've done, like okay, compare Money to Evolve, or compare Money to Disciple. Evolve and Disciple are far more complicated songs, and I feel like the groove is better and stronger, more energy, more drive in those songs than Money. Not to say that Money doesn't have a groove. It does. It has a very simple groove, a very solid groove, just not necessarily the most impressive groove. I like it. It's a good song, and I absolutely see why people enjoy it. I do, but me personally, it's not one of my favorites.
Yeah, to me, like even the drum beat, the way, man, I don't know what she's hitting when she's hitting the drums there. There's a particular sound. It's like it almost sounds like a cash register going. It was like, man, and in the focus on like the lyrics or the vocals, that takes like a strong, it's like center stage in that song, really.
Yeah.
And so that's when the songs were really the importance, I think, is about the message of it and the lyrics, and just kind of make it catchy, make it radio catchy, so people can hit on.
It is.
Yeah.
That song is radio ready. That song is ready to hit the air right now. Red Label ready. Get it out there. And seriously, it is absolutely ready to hit the airwaves without question. That is a radio-friendly song.
Okay. Any other things we want to talk about The Warning before we move on to Love Bites? Because Love Bites is another band you and I both react to quite a bit.
Absolutely. I'm really impressed with the girls. I've really been impressed with their growth as musicians, and more importantly, as performers. And I'm telling you, man, I seriously believe by the end of 2024, they're going to be headlining. I have no doubt.
I can see that happen. Now, when did you get into Love Bites? See, for me as a reactor, I found so many cool bands from doing this that I don't think would have discovered without it. And Love Bites is one of them for sure. Are you like in a similar situation?
Exactly the same position. One of the reasons I wanted to start the channel was because I know there's a ton of bands I've never heard of out there. And I would love to at least experience these bands, but I don't have, how do I put this? It's a motivational thing. Like, if you ask me to go on my own and listen to a bunch of these bands, I'm sorry. I like the bands I like, and I'm gonna stick with what I know and what I'm comfortable with. That's human nature, you know? Right. So by doing this channel, and someone asked me this once, recently, I was gonna do a Q&A video about it, but I might as well just do it here. What this channel is doing is it's forcing me to get out of my comfort zone and experience some new bands. I'm going to like some of them. I'm going to love some of them. I'm going to hate some of them. But it's going to force me nonetheless to expand my horizons, which I really appreciate. And Love Bites, yeah, that was one of the first bands that I had never even heard of them. I was like, who's Love Bites? Are they? And I think I said this in the reaction video. Are they named after Def Leppard's 80s hit Love Bites? Is that what they're named after?
Yeah, I think you did say that. Yeah, well, I reacted to that video. I think I remembered you saying that, and you called them princesses or whatever.
I was like, the hell is that? I remember I turned it on. I hit the play button. I saw these 5 ladies dressed in white dresses, and they're all differently styled. Like Midori's was kind of shortcut, and Miyako had this like really long flowy dress, and I'm sitting here watching them all going, they look like princesses. I mean, good Lord. They look like a bunch of She-Ra Princess of Power characters. I mean,
Yeah, I can see that.
I was like, they have a great look. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a great look.
It
but
really stands out. It stands out compared
all
to
these,
other metal
these
bands.
these pretty ladies wearing these pretty white dresses, looking all demure, and then they come out and they're just playing like riffs that would put Slayer to shame. I'm like, what in the hell is this?
Man, it is ruthless, man.
I came up with the infamous "this should not work" line. I used that, yeah.
Oh, but it does.
It does work. That's the funny thing. It works brilliantly. It absolutely works brilliantly. They really thought out their gimmick so well that I mean, they don't need the gimmick. They don't need it. They don't need to dress like that anymore. They don't. Their music stands up on its own. But to get noticed and to put themselves on the map, they came up with this image. And I know a lot of people don't like that word gimmick. I don't know why.
I was about to say.
I don't know why people have this negative content. But hear me out on this. I don't know why people understand. I don't know why do people have this negative context toward the word gimmick?
Well,
what is a gimmick?
Because when it's used, it seems like it's like a one-off thing. Like it's something that
in a way you're right.
It seems as dismissive. Like would you? Okay, so to get your understanding, so when you say gimmick, would you say that, let's say, like Slipknot's masks and their look, is that a gimmick? Okay,
absolutely.
So
yes.
So like the look that
Kiss.
Ghost has, Kiss
is the king of gimmicks. My God. But here's what I'm trying to say though, is that when I use the word gimmick, I don't mean it in a negative way. All I'm saying is they came up with a concept. They came up with a theme that's going to make them stand apart from the thousands of other bands out there that have a similar sound and a similar style. So let's look at Slipknot. Okay, I'm glad you brought them up. Let's look at Slipknot with the masks and the jumpsuits and everything else that they've got, right? And their whole thing about, beating each other up on stage and using, auxiliary percussion the way they do and stuff like that. That's all a gimmick. Is any of that stuff needed? No. They could go out there without that stuff. They can go out and play, but they're going to sound like a bunch of other bands that are out there that have a very similar sound and style. So they came up with this theme.
Someone might say, but it would be needed. It is needed for that Slipknot look, though. And even the sound. I think their auxiliary percussion, as you mentioned, they use other things besides. They use a drum set, but then they have other drummer things. Someone's hitting a keg with a baseball bat or something. It's like, what?
Sure. Yeah.
When you hear the album, you hear the music, you're like, man, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of banging going on in the background. What is all that stuff?
You're right. There is.
It's like, okay.
But again, all those things that you hear, they can be sampled. They have a DJ. They can have all those things on a track. They don't need to be out there. But they could have just two guys on guitar, one guy on bass, vocalist and drums.
Yeah.
And the DJ. But instead, they came up with this whole thing, this whole gimmick of, we're going to do the clown, we're going to do the mask, we're going to do the jumpsuits, we have the auxiliary percussion, we're going to have clown walking around with a baseball bat, smashing the crap out of a beer keg. We're going to beat the crap out of each other during the course of the entire show. We're going to leave the show bruised, bloodied, and feeling amazing because we blew the roof and we blew 85,000 people's minds. Now, how is that putting a negative spin on the word gimmick? It's not.
Well, being that gimmick is like a trick or device intended to attract attention, it seems like it's like you're saying, like it's not needed. But it is needed for their look and their sound, though. Like Love Bites wouldn't be Love Bites. Well, I mean, their look is what really. Well, actually, I was going to say Love Bites wouldn't be Love Bites without their look, but that's not entirely true because they can go in black outfits as well. But with Slipknot, their masks, if they played without masks, it would be kind of weird, right?
It would be.
They didn't wear masks. Though.
Precisely, because now their name and their gimmick is associated with their name. When you hear the name Slipknot, what's the first thing that comes to mind? The masks.
The masks and horror tropes. They seem to really like that stuff.
Exactly. So it helps them stand apart from all those other bands that have a similar style of music.
So I wonder if some of the, I guess, backlash you may get is kind of driven by like kind of misunderstanding what you mean at times. You know,
yes.
like how, you know, sometimes when I hear the word gimmick used for baby metal, a part of me there is that knee-jerk reaction of, but no, it's more than that, because when someone says gimmick, it seems like, oh, it's dismissive and like whatever.
That's people's own negative take on the word. That has nothing to do with what I mean. I would absolutely call, I would call baby metal a gimmick band. Absolutely. You know who else I would call a gimmick band? Iron Maiden. You know who else I would call a gimmick band? Judas Priest. You know who else I would call a gimmick band? Gwar. All bands that have a look about them. Judas Priest, very specific look. Iron Maiden, very specific look. You could even go as far as say AC/DC has a gimmick. You better believe they do. Angus Young is the gimmick. Always dressed up in the schoolboy outfit. But yet people, it's a gimmick. It is absolutely a gimmick. But people have this negative context of, oh, you're being dismissive by calling it a gimmick. No, I'm not. If anything, I'm giving them a compliment for having the vision and the courage. That's the big part. To stand apart and not be one of the sheep, not be one of the generic bands that everybody else sees. They're going to take steps to set themselves aside, make themselves look unique, make themselves stand out, and get all of the attention that all of those other thousands of bands are never going to see the light of day of. I've got no problem with that.
It just, when I hear you say gimmick, to me, it sounds like you're describing like style and a particular look, like not just like a one-off trick though. You know, it's like baby metal, they produce a certain sound as intended. It's by design. They wanted to blend the J-pop, the Kwai sound with metal. Kiss, you know, they put on the the makeup and stuff. So it's some could look at it and be like, oh, it's a trick. It's a way to just draw attention. But like every band is doing that. So at that point, would it be more like that's their unique style, or that's their unique sound?
That's one way of saying it. You could say that. I prefer to keep it short and simple and just say gimmick. But we're saying the same thing. It's what makes them unique. It's what makes them stand out. That's all it comes down to. You know, like I said, people have this negative context on the word gimmick, and I don't understand why. Maybe it's because I grew up watching professional wrestling. And man, if you just went out there and you were Joe Nobody getting into the ring against Doink the Clown, you know, I'm sorry, you're going to get jobbed, because Doink the Clown has a great gimmick, you know? He's an evil clown. Ooh, you know, sounds stupid, and it is stupid, but you know what? It put butts in seats. Every 18 inches, we're paying $35 and up. So, you know, and I love when people say, oh, people use gimmicks to sell out. Yes, they're selling out. Every single seat in the house. Standing room only. SRO. So I don't know. I don't know why people have this negative contest. I hear people call Kiss a gimmick band all the time, and I'm like, thank you, because you're absolutely right.
So that's one thing for anyone listening who is still kind of like bothered by that particular word, that phrase. It sounds like David explained here that he sees it as like he's not meaning it in that bad with a negative connotation or anything like that.
Not at all. Complimentary.
Now, so what would the Lovebites gimmick be other than their outfit?
Their outfit, they do a lot of things consistently, pretty much, not in every single song they do, but pretty much every song they do. I would say the other gimmick they have are their dual guitar solos. You can almost bank on every song they play having that dual guitar solo. Well, it doesn't always start with Midori. Sometimes it starts with Midori, sometimes it starts with Miyako, but at some point, One of them is going to start the solo. The other one's going to do the second half, and then they're both going to come together and do a harmonizing solo.
Yeah, there's a formula there.
And it's a great formula. It works for them. They make it work.
Sometimes you might even get like 4 or 5 different solos. It's like, man, what is going on? There's so much. Man, especially, I mean, you heard a lot of them, their latest album, Judgment Day. And it was like, when they came out with all guns blazing, man. They came out with, they were like coming back with a vengeance. They're like, we've been wanting to do some this whole time. Here you have it.
Yep.
We've been wanting to play. Yep. Man, Midori, I don't know what you call it. See, this where my limitation as far as the reactor goes, because I'm not like you come in it with musical knowledge. I don't really have that. I'm just like a layman, just reacting and just enjoying what I enjoy. But man, Midori made her guitar squeal so much throughout that freaking album, especially like We Are the Resurrection. Oh man, it was practically.
I haven't heard that one yet.
Man, it was practically whistling. In fact, there's times when she's playing, I was like, it almost sounds as if they're playing live and someone's whistling. It's so cool. It is so freaking cool.
Are we talking like Dimebag Daryl like squeals, like getting up that high?
Yeah, it is high pitched squeals, man. It is cool. It's so cool, man.
Okay, I'm gonna check that one out. What's it called again?
We Are the Resurrection. It's the first song on their. They don't have a music video for it yet or anything. But
We Are the Resurrection, LOVEBITES. Got it. Okay, cool. Sorry, I had to write that down before I forgot.
It's no problem. My memory's pretty bad too. I understand.
My memory sucks.
Yeah, right. So okay, now with you covering LOVEBITES, have you had a situation like you had with The Warning where it was like a oopsie daisy? Yes. Did I say the wrong thing? What happened there? And walk us through it.
Recently, I did a reaction to Judgment Day.
Okay.
And I made some comments about the bass playing, about the new bass player, and everybody took it out of context. I never said, and you can go back and watch the video. I challenge everybody who has attacked me to go back and listen carefully to what I said. I never said Fami does not belong in LOVEBITES. I never said that. What I said was, it's early in the game. From hearing what she has done in the past, I'm not 100% sold yet on her being a good fit. Time will tell. The jury is out. This first song, the intro, wasn't really, that whole bass thing at the beginning, wasn't really a big fan of it. And the outro, again, wasn't a very big fan of it. Was it impressive playing? Yes, it was. What she was playing was impressive. As a bass player, I can appreciate the popping and the slapping. Great technique. It was clean. It was well executed. It sounded really good. Did it fit LOVEBITES as we know them? I didn't think so. I didn't think it really fit all that well. Now, time will tell, you know? Maybe she'll adapt her style to fit more to LOVEBITES, or maybe LOVEBITES will adapt their style to fit Fami more. I kind of hope it's the first, because if that happens, then LOVEBITES is going to change their sound, the sound that we all know and love. And we've seen a lot of bands who have decided to take a new direction fail miserably. I'm going to use Judas Priest as an example here. They put out a whole bunch of albums. They all sounded very similar. They have a great style, and then they released Turbo. Dear Lord, that album was awful. And then they upped the ante by releasing Ram It Down. Equally awful. That's when I stopped listening to Judas Priest.
Well,
I took a few listens to Ram It Down, and I was like, I'm done.
I don't think they're going to have a big sound change. I mean, the sound in Judgment Day was pretty much LOVEBITES. So either. I mean,
but remember, they wrote those songs. They wrote those songs before Fami came along, though.
Right.
They wrote those songs, all those songs, while oh god, I've forgotten her name. Miho still in the band.
Yeah. Now,
well, she was still in the band.
But the way they do it, I'm pretty sure it's going to be about the same, because they do get a lot of Mao, who's he's like the keyboard. He's kind of like the background guy.
Yeah.
He definitely helps a lot when it comes to
Band has one.
songwriting. Miyako does too. She does a lot of it. So there's a collaborative process, sure, as they all kind of do their thing. But Miyako isn't gonna let it just become something different. Everybody else not gonna let it become something different either.
I very seriously doubt it. No, I think more than likely what's going to happen is Fami's going to adjust a little bit more and tone things down on the popping and slapping a little bit.
I think you were like concerned about like hearing that bass intro and outro, and really I perceived that when hearing that was their message to the fans saying, we recognize, we have our new bass player, and it's such a huge thing because not only were they locked down because of COVID and they couldn't do anything, but they lost their bassist, and it was a huge freaking deal. They couldn't do anything for a good while, and they found this they had a whole audition thing, which was amazing, which was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got Fami, and they recognized Fami as extremely talented, and she brought like this positive aura. There's like a positive presence around her, according to Sami. So I believe even someone said before, I need to fact check this too, but Sami may have been the one been like, hey, let's do that like bass intro and outro thing to kind of show that we have this new bass player. This is kind of her iconic thing, the taps and the slaps. So you have the tapping there, and also it's kind of like it starts a song and it ends the song. Does it take you out of it? For me, it didn't really take me out. It was just like it's like two bookends on a bookshelf of obviously it was like the same notes and everything. It was the start and just an end, but it was I think the fans really recognized it as being like it was a send off to them, and I think they really enjoyed it.
No, I see that point of view, and hearing you say it the way that you did, like it's an announcement to the world. Here she is, and you're right. I didn't think about it like that at first, but after hearing you say that, actually, I could see that. I could absolutely see that. If that's what it's being used for, yeah, it works. I mean, why not? And if I'm not mistaken, Judgment Day was the first song that they released from the new album, so why not put it in there to announce the new bass player? Yeah, it makes sense. And
then they had Stand and Deliver. Then they had Stand and Deliver, and Stand and Deliver had that really cool like bass line thing in the beginning too. I don't know if you heard that one. That one. Oh, that is a really good song, man. That is really good. I highly recommend it. I've done two other songs from the new album. I did My Orion, and I did Soldiers Stand Solitarily, I think is the name of the song. Oh yeah.
Totally different from the first, totally different from Judgment Day. Those two songs are so old school Love Bites. It really is. And hearing Fami play those two songs, my wonders and my concerns disappeared.
Okay, and that's one thing
completely.
That's one thing I noticed as well. Like, and I think before setting up this stream with you, someone in the comments, I'm not exactly sure, brought some concern about you might have said something that like Fami may not really belong or whatever. And when I listened to the reaction, I was like, well, he sounded like he said that he's not really sure. The jury's out, like you said earlier. And because there's people who could be probably classified as like fanboys like myself. When Fami was announced, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Guys, Fami is extremely talented. Dude, this is going to be so cool.
He is. I remember checking out.
I'm
I
Mr.
didn't
Optimist.
do any reactions to it. I didn't do any reactions to her, but I was told that, before they even announced Fami was going to be the new bass player, I had people on the channel saying, we don't want a reaction. You should go check out this bass player. The rumor is she's going to be the new bass player. And this was like a month before they announced it. Everyone was like, the rumor is Fami is going to be the new girl. So I went and I checked her out. Yeah, man, she could abuse the hell out of those strings, man. She knows how to pop and slap really well. And I was watching her technique, her actual popping and slapping technique. Boy, she's tight. Like, she is not one of these people like Flea who wind up from a foot away and then come back and hammer the string. Nah, her fingers move like that much from the strings. She is so tight with her popping and slapping. She reminds me a lot of Stanley Clark with her popping and slapping. Boy, she is very, very disciplined with her style.
Is this something you could do as a bass player?
No. No,
I'm not laughing at
clean.
you. I'm laughing.
I can pop and slap. I can pop and slap, but not with that kind of tightness. She moves that much. I move about that much. I wind up a bit with. I'm not doing this, but
Yeah.
I wind up a bit, and I'll hit like that. She's this. She is all thumb, and I'm like, wow.
And we got here because I did ask you what was through reacting to Love Bites, what was a situation where you got some backlash, and this happens as reactors. I've experienced this too. I mentioned before with like Bandmate and stuff. In fact, there was a period of time where anytime I'd bring up Bandmate, I'd be like, I know you guys probably don't think I'm a Bandmate fan, but I am, something like that. Just kind of rubbing in just a little bit. Did you ever do anything like that sometimes?
Of course. I always find I'll have less fallout, and I'll have less of a negative reaction, and I'll find myself having less comments if I pre-frame everybody first,
Yeah.
And just say, listen, I know in the past I may not have been the biggest fan of this particular group, whatever the group might be, but I'm gonna give them another shot. I'm willing to keep an open mind, and let's see what happens, But I'm not gonna go in with a negative mindset. I'm not gonna go in and go, I hate this band, I don't want to react to this. I'm not gonna do that. Yeah. I'm gonna keep an open mind, I promise, and let's give it a shot. I like to pre-frame people because because I don't know if you know this or not, I used to teach martial arts for a living. I used to teach kids, and one of the biggest things we learn about teaching kids is you got to pre-frame everything, because if you don't, they're going to do the exact opposite of what you want them to do.
Yeah, and I think it makes it easier to get into, let's say, to like explain your criticisms and things like that. So that way,
of course,
because I found that some people, and I guess in the fandoms or whatever, will understand that you may not like it, but they'll kind of encourage you, hey, check out this, check out that, maybe you'll like this one better. But
yeah,
I
don't know what your percentage is. Like for you personally, what's your percentage of positive feedback to negative feedback in situations like that?
Mostly positive. Because like my negative feedback usually happens. Well, when you say negative feedback, I've to this day I've not had any.
I don't mean
I've not had any attacks. No one has wished cancer on me or my. No,
precisely. I don't mean people disagreeing with you. Listen, everyone has an opinion, and everyone's free to disagree with you. That's fine, but. I'm talking about the negative. You know what I'm talking about?
Like
the attacking personally.
Really. No. Well, the most recent one was the Nanowar Steel, but that wasn't really it was more like just laughing at the fact that I didn't get that they were a parody band.
Yeah.
I knew the video was a parody of horror stuff, but like I didn't realize that they were a parody of like pre-produced metal bands like I guess Electric Cowboy or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't get that. I was like, all right, so maybe I need to check out more of their stuff. I wasn't really sure what was going on.
I wasn't sure what's going on with those guys either. I'm still not sure what's going on with those guys either. But I have a few more requests for them in the queue, and when I get to them, I'll give them another shot.
Oh, and now we could shift gears and talk about like the positive stuff with Love Bites. I mean, well, before we do that, did you receive any death threats when it came to the Love Bites stuff?
No.
Okay, that's good.
No. I never got any death threats from the Love Bites fan base yet. There's always a possibility it could happen later. I hope it won't.
No, that's not.
I hope it won't.
No. They'll just.
So far, the Love Bites community has been really chill with me. There's always a few knuckleheads that say that I'm stupid and I'm an idiot and I don't know what I'm talking about and whatever.
I mean,
that's your opinion.
I've been called things, like retarded.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Right.
I mean, going back to the negative feedback, my negative feedback actually recently that comes to mind wasn't actually anything about reaction. It was when, man, I don't know if I should talk about this again, but
here we go.
It wasn't an oopsie daisy. I was drunk.
Let me get my popcorn.
It starts like this. I was drunk one night, and I did a video, And no, so I was like looking around at to do a meta reaction, reacting to other reactors, and I was looking at the Gaijin guys. I like their stuff sometimes. Yeah. But I noticed they had merchandise and they were selling, and they had like the silhouettes of the band and the band members' names on the shirts. I was like, okay, like I'm not really. I just did a video asking about that essentially, and I probably said some things like it seems kind of grimy, whatever. But you know, and then,
I haven't seen the shirts. Like I wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't want to get you roped in. Like to look. My opinion of it now is. Look, it doesn't matter. Like, maybe you say it does matter, but it's like people sell fan-made merchandise. And,
sure.
And apparently it's a thing that happens. And if the band doesn't have a problem with it, then who am I to really judge or anything like that?
Yeah.
So that's kind of where it is now.
Do you sell merch?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't really see, maybe in the future, maybe like a Rant and Chill, a drinking glass or something, but I don't know.
Hell yeah.
A cigar cutter.
Hell yeah.
I mean,
actually, cool. Hey, everyone, like maybe once a year, I'll have a cigar. Maybe. There have been a number, I haven't had a cigar in about 3 years, but that wouldn't be a bad thing for you to sell though, because you're always smoking them.
Yeah.
Or a drinking glass. I would buy the drinking glass. I would buy that from you.
Drinking lots of beer and smoking cigars.
Yeah, I don't see a problem with that. I know a lot of people do these YouTube channels as a source of income, and they want. And let's be honest, man, YouTube, and I know it. YouTube doesn't pay a squat. When it comes to our ad revenue, we get 7 cents for every 100 views, and that's if there's no copyright claim. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. So we don't make much. So I don't understand a lot of YouTubers to subsidize that and make more money. They come up with merch. Okay, good for them. That's fine. I got no problem with that. As long as they feel comfortable putting their name, their reputation, and their brand on whatever it is they're selling, more power to them. I'm going to go back. I'm sorry, but this is the band I always refer to when it comes to anything that has to do with business or music or anything. Let's look at Kiss. How many patents does Kiss have? From Kiss condoms to Kiss
wait. They have Kiss condoms?
They have Kiss condoms. Gene Simmons approved. Kiss condoms.
Gene Simmons approved Kiss condoms?
Gene Simmons approved. Slept with over 6,000 women. He approves of these condoms. They are tried and true. No, Kiss condoms, Kiss coffins, Kiss Kiss pinball machines, Kiss dolls, Kiss pajamas, Kiss glassware, Kiss statuettes, Kiss comic books. I don't know if you remember the comic book that Kiss did with Marvel, where the gimmick was they put their blood in the red ink. That was great. They had everything. They have over 10,000 licenses for the name Kiss to be put on lunch boxes and toy cars and you name it, man. They do it. They are the masters of licensing and they are the masters of merchandising. But the only company that might beat them possibly is Disney. They're it. They're the only ones that Kiss have any competition with.
I just Googled search a Kiss cereal box. I wasn't really sure if they had one. It looks.
I think they do.
Is this true? Oh man. Yeah,
I think they do.
They even had a Kiss video game. I did not play that.
I didn't know about the video game. I know they were in Tony Hawk's underground skating game, Thug 1. They actually appeared in it. Their images appeared, and they had like 2 or 3 songs on the soundtrack. So good for them. Again, licensing, isn't it wonderfil?
It's great.
Hey, work another day. Honestly,
if you're popular like that, you might as well just
ride that wave.
Do it, yeah.
They never have to work another day in their lives with all the money they're bringing in from their licensing.
Make that money, man.
Hey, more power to them. And that goes back to our merchandising thing with YouTubers. If they can put their name and they feel comfortable doing it and their product and their brand on merchandise and sell it, more power to them. I got no problem with it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That wasn't the problem. My thing was like using like other band members' silhouettes and like, that was the thing. I was like, cool creative art. That's one thing, but like, you know what? I did a follow-up video where I was like, okay, guys, I'm going to make a Gaijin Guy shirt. Guys, I was just joking around. And because, let me just say, it turns out what I did actually became a Love Bites shirt anyway. I'm not going to say it was my idea or anything. It was like a silhouette of Fami, and it was like the word level up. And then Midori now has a shirt where it's her silhouette and it says level up. I was like, hey, look at that. It's like, oh, look at that. That's so cool.
That's great.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, so maybe I could get selling some merch, maybe some fan made merch. No, I'm not sure about that, but merch, custom merch of my stuff, maybe.
Here's what I've seen a lot of YouTubers do. They'll have a contest, and they'll ask their viewers to submit artwork and ideas, and if the YouTuber likes it and he wants it, he'll pay that individual for the rights.
Yeah,
they'll pay $50, $100, whatever for the artwork, whatever they agree on, and it becomes theirs because they paid him outright for it. So that's not a bad idea, dude. There are some talented people out there who have some amazing artwork skills, and why not put them to good use?
Now to bring this back to I was about to say Kiss. To bring this back to Love Bites. So what has been the positive feedback you've received from Love Bites?
Oh, I know what I'm talking about. I clearly have an understanding of music. You understand theory really well. You understand chordal structure really well. You understand, how key changes can interact with each other, and they can modulate well, and blah, 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 blah. They're telling me things that I already know. I know I have a clear understanding of this stuff. Trust me, I wouldn't talk about it if I didn't understand the stuff. But I've had a lot of people say, and this really makes me feel good. When I have commenters tell me that they used to play music and, they used to study music, and because of my channel and the fact that I talk about theory and I talk about counting in particular, how I talk about time signature and how you can break it down. You could have a 6/8 work within a 4/4, and you can have the 3 work against the 4 there, and they both fit, and you can interpret it however you want. And I love how they switch from 5/8 to 7/8. It fits and it makes a 12/8. And I'll talk about stuff like this, and they you inspired me to get back into music. Because of you, I went and picked up my trumpet again. Because of you, I sat back down at a piano and started working on my scales again. That makes me feel so good because it lets me know that I'm doing something right with this channel. I'm not just going out there entertaining, I'm inspiring people to get back to what they loved and for whatever reason lost the love for, and because of the channel they got it back. That, man, every time I see a comment like that, my confidence just goes through the roof, man. I love it. I love it when that happens.
That's cool, man. So yeah, I mean, you encouraged them to get back into music, so
absolutely,
man, you inspire them.
And I get those. And I just recently had another guy. He was in the hospital for seriously like 3 months, laid up in the hospital because of COVID. He was just not getting better. And he told me when he got out of the hospital, he messaged me and he said, "Dude, your channel got me through the worst 3 months of my life. I look forward to your channel every day when I was in the hospital. Thank you so much for putting out 2 videos every day that I could take my mind off of my sickness and I could just focus on some good music and some good fun. You have a great personality. You make it entertaining, and you break it down in a way that we can all understand. And you got me through those 3 months, man. I'm out of and he told me he's out of the hospital now. He's all better, but he told me straight up, my channel got through those 3 months." And I was like, yo. What
do you do with that? Like that's
so humbling. It really is. I'm getting chills just thinking about it. I don't know what to say to that. I really don't, other than I'm really glad I could be there for him. I mean, not me personally there, but I mean, the fact that what I'm doing got him through that. Yeah. Jesus,
yeah. Like what you're doing actually, it
makes a difference.
Someone. Yeah. It made a difference. Yeah.
God, that's all. I just that's what I've always wanted to do, man. I've always wanted to make a difference in people's lives and through entertainment. And that's so good.
Man, that is a powerful comment. Can't say I've had anything close to that.
You will,
but
you will.
Probably
you just wait. You'll get it. you have the right personality and you have the right style, and I guarantee you, your viewership is going to grow. I mean, look, when my channel started out, my first I think in my first month, I only gained like 30 people, which I was fine with. This has never been a number. This whole channel has never been a number game for me. I could care less how many, numbers I gain. Or
I mean, if it was a numbers game, I would just focus on the bands that like everyone enjoys, like the Warning solely, and then maybe Liliac and
Nightwish.
I haven't even started reacting to them. Yeah, but instead I like to react to bands that no one really knows of, like Gotrek Spin, who I feel is criminally underrated because no one knows who they are. People in America, in the West, they have no clue who they are for the most part.
Have you reacted to a band called Fake Gear yet?
Yeah.
I dig them, man. I dig that steampunk style. I think
really
it's
cool.
So cool. And their music is really good to boot. What about Sigamatsu? Have you reacted to them yet?
Sigamatsu.
It's spelled Sigamatsu. It's how it's spelled, but it's pronounced Sigamatsu.
Is that? Wait, I did react to them. That's the one that nemophila did a cover of them. They have a song called like Bad Apple or something. Oh no, wait. What am I saying? What's Sigamatsu.
You would know.
They wear the makeup. They wear like the Kiss makeup, sort of. Yeah, okay.
Kiss makeup. Yep.
Yeah,
you got it. I love them. I want to go see them play live. From what I understand, they only perform in Japan though. So
some of these bands they don't really expand out. It's like they don't really have any desire to. Maybe it just costs a lot. Maybe it's not really worth their time.
Touring is expensive, and it's only gotten more expensive.
Yeah.
The last time my band went on a major tour was right before COVID hit. And this is not even an exaggeration. It was costing us $164,000 a month to tour.
Repeat that again. How much money?
$164,000 a month.
And how much were you making from these shows?
Okay, mostly we made all our money back. We made it all back. But it was mostly because of merch.
Oh, yeah.
Ticket sales, we don't really make a whole lot of money from ticket sales. Because we keep our ticket prices pretty cheap. We'll charge between $25 to $35 a ticket on average. And we're not going to make a whole lot from that. So luckily we have our merch booth, and man, our merch was popular, boy, because after every show our merch booth looked like it had been ransacked. It was so good.
Oh, that's good to hear.
I think we would make about somewhere between $180,000 to $200,000 gross off of that $168,000 spent for the course of the month for the tour. So we would probably net somewhere around 30,000, somewhere in there, probably. Then we have to pay first of all, we have to pay our taxes.
Yeah, you got to pay Uncle Sam. He wants some money.
God. Well, it's not just that. We have the entertainer's tax to deal with too.
Wait, there's the entertainer's tax?
There's an entertainer's tax. Most people get.
I asked that like I'm surprised. There's a tax on everything. There's a tax when you do.
There's
anything.
Your federal tax. Your typical tax bracket is like about 35% average, 35 to 40. Well, if you're an entertainer, you can tack on another 10%. So we're seriously taxed at 50%. And since we're entertainers, we're in the music industry, we're also quite often we're 1099 to boot. So we're responsible for our own taxes, paying all of them. There's no employer. So, which is even greater.
No.
So
that's okay.
When it's all said and done out of a typical tour, me personally, now here's the thing. The musicians are paid flat out for the month. Every month. So I have my monthly rate, and I am paid that monthly rate. It does not matter how much we sell in merch. It doesn't matter how much we make in tickets. It doesn't affect me whatsoever because my paycheck is guaranteed. I get X number of dollars every month. And my airfares, all my travel expenses are paid for, and my hotels are paid for. My food is not. That's my responsibility. But that goes with me getting paid as much as I get paid. So.
Right. Okay. I was gonna say, here, just bringing up taxes. So Do you do rants? I mean, you do rants, but it's like you rant about the bands or sometimes or what you hear, right?
Oh yes.
Okay. See, initially when I started this channel, I was going to rant about things not really related, like about taxes. And while I had fun doing it, it wasn't really. It's not really like what people come here for. So I was like, oh yeah, okay. Yeah. But there's that. I just want to say, I did ask the chat if there's any additional questions.
Oh, ask away, please.
Let's see. Someone said they had something.
I will not. Just a pre-frame.
Okay.
I will not talk about religion. I will not talk about politics. I will not talk about money, and I will not talk about relationships. Anything else? Fair game.
Yeah, politics is dangerous. Whatever you
Very
don't
dangerous.
Don't do a video ranting about communism.
Don't do that.
Don't do
yeah.
that. Right.
Yeah. Politics are bad. Religion's worse. I mean, I'm not going to start a holy war. So.
I mean. Yeah, not gonna do that. Not gonna do that. Let's see. So yeah, I don't think you're gonna be asking anything like that.
But while you're looking for things, let me just say, regarding Love Bites, I look forward to the future. After hearing some of her on the new album, playing with the Love Bites songs that they've written, I have a very good feeling about it. I'm not sure. I know the My Orion video came out already. You should. Is it
the one with the? Did you react to the one with where they have their panels?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Make sure you do a reaction to that one because
I'll do a reaction to that one. Yeah. That'd be fun.
I made a little spoiler. I made a comment that the song kind of reminds me of like montage music.
Yeah, I could see that.
And I proved it. I proved it by taking a clip of the song and putting it behind movie footage from like Van Damme movies and Rocky movies.
Oh, okay.
And it fits so good. Oh my God, it fits so well.
That's cool, man. That's cool. All right, I'll check it out. One time I reacted to one of those, and I actually put my little reacting box in the other blank. You know, there's 6 squares, but the other one is like the album cover. So I put myself right there, and I was kind of like doing what they do with the
Oh,
it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
What video is that? I want to go see that. What video is that?
It was. I think there's 2 of them. It's like, I think it was Soldier Stand Solitarily. I think it was that one, and there might have been another one. Of course, I was wearing the hat and the aviators. Which, by the way, I gotta say, constructive feedback. When I started reacting to Angelita Jordan, who like when I started reacting to them, they're like, dude. Essentially, it wasn't like this, but they were like, dude, you got to take off those glasses. Like, we want to see how you're actually reacting. Like, your eyes could be closed the whole time. We have no idea. It's like, oh, yeah, you're right. Well, let's do it. All right.
I think the glasses are cool.
No,
I think the glasses are really cool.
I think they're better than my eyes, for sure. I mean.
Oh, I just remembered. Remember that you were asking me if artists ever come back and comment on videos that I reacted to them on?
Yeah.
The band Saltatio Mortis, the lead vocalist, I think his name is Alia or Aria or something like that. Every time I do a reaction to Saltatio Mortis, he always is one of the first people to come and leave a comment, and I'm like, yeah, that's great.
I don't know if I reacted to that band.
You probably haven't. They're not super big, but I dig the music. They did a cover. I don't know if you're a video gamer. I mean, you're on Discord. I would assume you're a gamer of some kind.
Yeah, I play a lot of video games.
You ever play Skyrim?
Yeah, Skyrim.
Okay.
Everyone's played Skyrim.
Everyone's played Skyrim. His band did a metal cover of The Dragonborn Comes.
Oh, that's cool.
Check that out. It is. I'm not going to give anything away. I'm just saying, check it out. If you like that song, definitely check it out.
All right.
Let me find that video of you.
Let's see. I'm checking. Let me ask the chat one more time. Any? Someone said they had a question, but I didn't see where they dropped it.
Tragedy.
All right, 1 second here. As we're doing this, so where do you see? Okay. While we're waiting for additional questions, one thing I'll throw as far this is kind of maybe a rant topic here that we could both share on. So it's often said that reactors is like the lowest tier of content. Like we do nothing whatsoever, and it's super lazy, and anyone could do it. Now, before you respond, I will say that I, having been in YouTube for quite a while on a whole other channel, essentially everything seems to be a reaction of something. Okay, you're reacting to something. But okay, so what are your thoughts on that?
I think these people have absolutely no idea what they're talking about, because until they walk a mile in our shoes, they have absolutely no right to make a comment like that. I don't know about you, but this has turned into, I never meant for it to turn into this, but this has turned into a full-blown job where I spend anywhere from 50 to 60 hours a week doing it. Between answering comments, answering emails, setting up business relationships. I just comments alone. I'll spend anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours a day on comments alone, just reading and answering. Then I film. I spend about 4 hours a day filming. Then I edit. Editing takes about 8 hours. It takes about an hour to edit each video per video on average. So in a day, I would usually film for 4 hours. And then the next day I'll do editing for 8 hours, and then wash, rinse, and repeat. You know, I mean, this is a full-time job, and anybody who says otherwise, try it. Seriously, try doing this, and let's see how little effort you have to put into it. You know, I don't know about you. I do everything myself. I don't hire anybody to do anything for me. I handle all my own social media. I handle all of my own uploads, all my own video editing, all my own production, all my own marketing, all my own advertising. I do everything. So, and it's not because I can't afford to pay anybody. I can, but I don't trust anybody, because that's my name. That's my brand. That's my logo.
I don't have an employee because I can't afford to pay him. I'm streaming in my elaborate studio, which is in a garage, and it's Texas, and it's freaking hot. You know?
Oh my God.
There's a fan right next to me.
Dear Lord.
Okay.
But I mean, until they step in our shoes, I absolutely, they're just barking dogs, man. They're barking dogs on chains.
Yeah, I can see that. And what I said earlier, like, so there's a lot of different types of content you can find on YouTube. You know, there's people in like political space, commentators that talk about all sorts of stuff. They do live streams. They're essentially kind of reacting to news articles or other videos they see. Sure. There's a whole other sphere of YouTube that I have a whole other channel on that is pretty much YouTube drama, where you're just reacting to other people doing kind of dumb things, or, you know, making judgments on them or whatever. That's all just like reactions to me. And I find this to be a lot more constructive and more positive. I really enjoy doing this. And I don't want to just say, oh yeah, that song was good. Let me know what you think about the reaction.
God.
No, I want to add more to it. It's like, okay, this is what I think about the song, and it's a challenge for me because, like, I played bass for a little bit, I played guitar for a little bit, sure, but I was never in a band. I was like, I played in a garage with a couple of dudes, but that was it. Okay, all right.
Hey, we all started there. Trust me.
So
we all started there.
I see what other reactors do. It's like, okay, I'm coming here. I'm not gonna try to fake like I'm some music guru. Can't do that. I'm just gonna be me. I'm just talk about what I liked about it and what I noticed, and maybe other people enjoy that. Maybe they see something in that. But what I liked is enjoying something together, you know, with others, and also the time where you can help someone find a band they never heard of before. Like, let's say Gotrek Spin. Like this whole summer, I'm doing a lot of their videos, even though maybe only 20 people watch them. So that's what I like. It is a lot of work. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say work. Like let's say, I say, you know, I say work. It's not like, well, I'm sweating my ass off, sweating my balls off right here, right now. But it's not like I'm out in the oil fields or anything like that. You know, but yeah, it's effort. There's effort into it.
There's definitely effort into it. A lot of this effort I put on myself because I choose to put out 2 videos a day. You know, I do anywhere from 60 to 62 videos a month. And I've guaranteed that, and I've made that promise that to my viewers that I'm going to provide this. And I'm a man of my word, and I don't care what it takes. I don't care if I'm sick. I'm going to put that content out because that's what my viewers deserve. They deserve nothing less than what I've promised them. So, but getting back to your comment about you don't want to be one of those reactors that just sit there and just watch it, and at the end they go, "That's fire, yo."
Yeah. That's so good. That's so good.
Click the bell, like the video, subscribe to the channel, go to my Patreon, buy my merch, you know, give me your firstborn, like, blah, 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 blah.
They'll watch like a 5-minute video, 5-minute music video, right, and then they'll spend like 5 seconds in like...
Yeah. How's fire, yo?
Yeah, that's no good. Oh, we do have some questions. Charles Jensen asked, did David ever see Jill's violin cover of Eruption with Unlucky Morpheus?
No, but it's in the queue.
Okay.
That is in the queue. I will react to it. I don't know when, but I promise I will react to that eventually when it comes up. Unless maybe someone will prioritize it and bump it up to the front. Okay, great. If that happens, awesome. If not, it'll stay where it is, but it is moving. I promise. Charles, feeling you. I will get to it. I promise.
I remember reacting to it. It was good. I liked it.
We're talking about Van Halen Eruption. We're talking about Eddie Van Halen Eruption on a violin.
Right.
I may just bump this up on my own. God, I'm intrigued. How?
And Unlucky Morpheus, that's a band I would not have known if it wasn't for this. Let's see. What for David? One band I've never seen mentioned on this channel is Halloween. Just curious why that is. Halloween seems like a band he would have by now.
I've heard of Halloween. I have heard of Halloween. I remember they had a hit in '89, I think it was 88 or '89, called "I Want Out." It got some regular rotation on Headbangers Ball. I used to watch Headbangers Ball every Saturday night, 9:00 p.m. I was there in my game room watching Headbangers Ball. Let me see. Do I have any Halloween in the queue? I do not. There is no Halloween. The reason that I have not reacted to Halloween yet is nobody has requested it. My channel is 100% request fueled. Every reaction I do is made by a viewer. I don't choose anything for myself. So if it's not requested, I don't do it. So if people want Halloween requests, by all means, you know, make the request. I would love to add it to the queue. Sure. I got no problem with that.
Don't be surprised if you get a request. Don't be surprised if you get a request that's like a double of a Love Bites and a Halloween. Of Love Bites doing a cover of Halloween.
Wait. I think I did that. I think
Eagle Flies Free.
I did that. I think. Yeah. Wait, did I? Hold on. Or is that in the queue? Wait.
Eagle Fly Free.
Eagle. I already did it.
Okay. So
God, that was back in 2021.
So you have a taste of Halloween, and my knowledge of Halloween is not very good at all, either. But yeah, I mean it's a good band.
It might be up my alley. I've only heard the one song, "I Want Out." That's the only song I've ever heard from them. I don't count the Love Bites one because that's a cover. I don't know how much they might have changed it. They might have put their own spin on it and taken the song in a little bit of a different direction. So I don't count that as listening to the original.
Right.
So, I don't know what the original sounds like, but if people request it, it'll go in the queue and I will eventually react to it. So yeah, absolutely.
Let's see. Any other questions in the chat here?
Don't hold back, folks. This is your chance. Ask me whatever you want.
Last time ever. David said he's no longer. No, I'm just joking. No.
Yes.
While we're waiting for any more questions, so where do we go as reactors? Like, what does the future look like for us?
I hate to say this. I think we are eventually going to die out. I think this is a fad. I think it's a very popular fad. We're one of the most popular things popping up on YouTube. There's always new reaction channels popping up, and therein lies the problem: oversaturation. if you look throughout history, whenever any venue or of entertainment starts taking over and starts being mass produced, eventually it fizzles out. Remember the 80s when you had all those rom-coms, right? Those romantic comedies,
Right.
and like 16 Candles and all those other things. You had all these romantic comedies. Well, by about 88, 89, what happened to them all? They fell by the wayside and were replaced by, cheesy action movies, Van Damme movies, Seagal movies, Chuck Norris movies, all these action-packed movies. And they were really big from about 88 to about 94. And then what happened? They all went down. So I think we're enjoying, like, I think Ronnie Radke hit it spot on. I think we're entering the golden age right now where it's going to become super popular. We're all going to be, enjoying, a lot of success with what we're doing, however we measure success. And we're gonna ride the wave for as long as we can. But in all honesty, probably in about, I would say, 5 or 6 years, we're all gonna kind of, become. I mean, well, they're gonna be the reaction channels that are gonna keep going, obviously.
Right.
But I think our popularity will start to dwindle. You know what I mean? We won't be the most watched channels on YouTube. It'll be some other genre that comes along. So
might just be replaced by AI. Might just be replaced by AI, man. Okay.
That is not an impossibility.
That is, yeah, I know. Like, I've been looking at the AI technology stuff, and it's like, what in the world? I looked at it.
You talk about lazy, God.
I looked at it so I could try to get ahead of the game because I already know what's going to happen. We're going to be replaced by AI.
We're all going to be replaced by robots.
So reaction channels, the ones that are going to continue to go as the other ones start like fading out or whatever, will be the ones that are pay to play, because they're the ones that will get the money and get the support, and they'll probably have their views boosted in some other ways. Things that record companies have done before back in the radio days. Probably very similar.
Still done. It's still done.
Yeah.
Despite what everybody, they got rid of those monopolies. No, they didn't.
No,
they didn't. Ladies and gentlemen, I am telling you right now, that still goes on. It just goes on in a roundabout way, but it still happens. Why do you think you keep hearing the same 40 songs on the radio played 3 to 4 times a day? That's why. Is because the record labels still have their fingers into the pies.
It's crazy.
All
man.
These radio stations.
There was a documentary I watched. It was actually made on YouTube, a YouTube documentary thing about like the death clause or whatever. But the record industry, I had no idea how crazy it was. And the guy went into great depth in explaining like how the mob was involved back in the day, and it still probably is, just in a different way.
They go by a different name now.
Yeah. And now it's just corporations. This is corporate speak.
Yeah. That's really what it is.
Shareholders and stuff.
A lot of mobs, running these shadow companies that, it's all true. Maybe people ask me, I get this question a lot with my experience in the music industry. Do I think that bands should sign record deals? And my answer, honestly, is no. Record labels do not help bands at all. Record labels, all they do is they provide financial support to push the product that they own. And a lot of people don't understand this. When you sign a record deal, you sign everything over to them. Your licensing, your publishing, your distribution, everything goes to the record label.
Yeah,
you are no longer a band.
True.
You are a product. And if that record label looks at you and goes, you guys have been wearing all black for a couple of years now, and it's been okay, but our marketers and our grand high wizards and sorcerers have seen into the future, and the future is green leotards with pink tutus. So guess what? Tomorrow night, you're going on stage wearing green leotards and pink tutus. You better believe, if you signed a record contract, you better believe tomorrow night you are wearing exactly what they told you. Because if you don't, you're in breach of contract.
Yeah, there's been people who talked about this too. Oh man, like
there's a band.
As long as you're doing good, as long as you're making money and they're happy, that may be out of your way. But if you are not, they're gonna have some advice for you. They're gonna have some
Oh, that's worse than that. Remember when these okay, so when you sign a record deal, they give you a whole bunch of money up front.
Oh yeah.
Right? You sign this record deal.
And it's not free money. They want that money back.
It is not free money. It is an advance.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of bands don't understand that. And they'll go and they'll get their arms all fully tattooed, sleeved up, and they'll go buy cars and they'll go buy houses and everything else like that. And their records aren't selling all that well. And most 360 deals are a 3-album deal. So at the end of those 3 albums, the record label calls in the band and goes, well, I got some bad news, guys. Your 3 albums didn't sell very well. So, and then they slide you the invoice. This is what you owe us. How are you going to pay us back?
Well,
and this is how you pay them back. You continue to work for them for free until you make that money back.
Damn. Oh man.
And
he's not lying. He's not lying about this.
That is all. I know I'm not, because I've talked to bands. Yeah. I've dealt with bands. I've worked. There was a band. I'm not going to mention. I've learned this lesson the hard way. You never ever mention names. But there is a band that one of the bands that I'm in. We're actually pretty close with this other band. They have a record label. They've had a record label for the past 12 years, and they have a new record label that they're with now, and they're very happy with them. But their original record label, oh my God, I have never seen a band so unhappy, because they signed a 360 deal and they didn't know. So, their bass player goes and gets both of his arms tatted up and sleeved. The guitar player went and made a bunch of investments into failed restaurants and everybody, here's the worst part. Everybody blamed the lead singer, because the lead singer is the one who convinced the band. Listen, everybody is mad at the lead singer, and they have every right to be, because the lead singer is the one who convinced the band to sign the contract right there on the spot without taking it to an attorney to read over first.
So the that guy's record a grade label, A moron. Don't do that,
grade
guys.
A moron.
Okay, there's a question. This is actually from Matt Damasio, but also pushed by Don Music. I bet we get a lot of common viewers, so I do recognize the name too. He says, where does Al or Ali or Alejandra sit on his list of favorite basses?
Ooh. God, Matt, how dare you? Matt, you're banned from the channel. Oh God. I mean, she's gonna be up there. I have so many bass players I love. I would put her, without question, without hesitation, I will say top 100. No question at all. Top 50. Yeah. I will go that far. I will say top 50. But I'm not going any higher.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe too early to tell.
Sorry. I cannot discount John Pattucci. I cannot discount Kim Stone. I cannot discount John Myung. I cannot discount Cliff Burton. I can't discount Bootsy Collins. I can't discount there's so many I already said Cliff Burton. There's all these bass players that I really enjoy. Steve Harris from Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
Good Lord. I mean, there's so many other bass players that I really, really respect. And I count as my influences. So I can't put her up in like the top 10. But top 50, I feel I'm willing to go that high. We're talking like hundreds of bass players I know.
Yeah.
I would put her in top 50.
With the amount of legendary bass players out there, I mean, that's not a bad place. Though some of the warning, so some of the Warning Army fans may want it to be higher. Just keeping that in mind. What we said earlier, this band is so young, especially at age.
Yeah.
Like they have all the time to just improve even more so, which we know they're going to.
Yes,
because they're absolutely driven and they are talented. So
yes, they are. And I know I have very confident that they're only going to get better as time goes. Ask me that question in 10 more years.
And I do want to shout out to Cheesy XYZ. He was the guest before you, David. It's been a while, almost like a year since I had a guest. It's hard.
Wow.
Sometimes I reach out to other reactors, and it's like, well, maybe, and then it just communication just falls through. And
I love it.
whatever.
I love it when you reach out to other reactors and one of two things happen. One, they just don't answer you. They just ignore you completely.
Yeah.
Or they go, well, I'd be willing to do it for this much. Pay me this and I'll appear on your channel.
No,
like,
man, it's not.
Can't
It
we
should
just
be.
can't we just help each
talk.
other out?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, just have a conversation. I mean, I've never paid for anyone to be on a stream or anything. That's
No.
so silly.
No. And
It's-
I don't
it's-
ask.
It's
I
a
appeared on
YouTube live stream on a Friday night. What else are you doing
Right?
on a Friday night?
I'm not doing anything. No, I appeared with Just Jen. I appeared on her channel a few times for some live streams. And I'll never forget this. I was kind of taken back. I wasn't sure how to take this. We were talking about it. I love her, by the way. Just Jen. I absolutely adore her. She is real people. She asked me when she wanted me to come on her show. We were talking about what we're gonna do, and I'm like, that sounds great. And then she goes, so how much do you charge? And I was like, huh? Well, yeah, don't you want to be paid for this? And I'm like, no. And she was all shocked. She's like, what? And I'm like, Jen, I'm doing this to help you. You know, I'm here to help you with your show and boost up your numbers and boost up your views. I'm not asking for anything in return. I'm taking, because in the honest to God truth is, we're going to help each other out in the long run. Yeah, I'm appearing on your show and it's your program, it's your viewers, but you know what? By appearing on your show, maybe some of your viewers might like what I say. Maybe they might like my style. Maybe they might like the way I talk. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to come and check me out on my channel. I'm fine with that. It is give and take just by doing that. I got no problem with that. I don't understand this mentality of YouTubers, you know, being all this exclusive.
Yeah,
oh my
it's
God,
not
right?
everyone. It's not all of them, but some of them
No,
do have that.
No. It's not everyone, but there are a few. And I'm just like, God, I don't
like Cheesy was on before. He's a real chill guy, man. Honestly, he is like the definition of chill. I mean, he is all chill to the max, man.
Okay.
That's really cool, dude. Someone asked a similar question about do you know who Bo is?
From
Baby Metal comedy band.
Oh yeah, love him. Love him.
Where would you place him on the as for bases?
Also top 50, easily top 50. I would put him above Ale. I might even go top 20. Just because he is so technical, man. Between the popping and the slapping, his tapping is immaculate. I wish I could tap like him. I would even say I'm like, when it comes to my tapping, I'm not even halfway there compared to him. His tapping is next level, man.
I have another question, and this was getting into the weeds. I don't know. Matt Damascus asked him if she ever paid up on the bet they had. What
I don't know.
What's the
I
bet?
don't know. Oh, we had a bet. Okay, I don't know if you know this about me. I'm very big into charity. And I know a lot of people don't know this because I don't like to talk about money. It's one of the taboo four, but I've always stated on my channel that I don't do this for money, and I honest to God don't. I don't need it. I make plenty of money with my music career. I do this for fun. And what I do with the money I do make, well, first of all, about half of it goes to taxes. Okay. So it's no secret what I make on the Patreon page. I have it up there for public display. I'm not hiding anything. I make about $2,600 a month on Patreon. Half of that goes to taxes. So that leaves me with $1,300. I take about $300 of it and I put it into an account for the channel to buy new equipment, buy memberships, upgrades, stuff like that. So I reinvest it in the channel. The other $1,000 every single month, I make a donation to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital every month. And I love doing that. It makes me feel so good that I can take what I make from this channel and I can put it to some good use to help humanity, especially these kids, these children who are afflicted with these horrible diseases, man. Anything I could do to help, I do. So every year I do a fundraiser and I challenge the channel to pony up. And I say, listen, we're going to give money today, and we're going to give money to charity. It's all going to go to St. Jude's. And one of the things I'm usually very critical about YouTube, I will say this. YouTube, the way they have their charity drive set up, it's amazing. Every penny that is donated to charity goes to charity. YouTube doesn't touch a dime. I love that. So that's why I do these fundraisers every year on the channel, and I raise money for St. Jude's.
Hey, that's
and there have been dude, every year, let me tell you, the Warning Army stepped up. My first year, I did it. The Warning Army stepped up, and they raised over $15,000 in 2 weeks. How about that?
That's pretty cool. That's really impressive.
That was amazing. And as a result, the reward was not just myself, but my wife joined me, Mrs. Heretic joined me, and the two of us sat together and we did 4 reactions back to back of new Warning content. And the crowd loved it. Everybody loved it. So every year I do this fundraiser, and I challenged Jen last year. I got on her live stream and I challenged her on her live stream. And I said, listen, I want to do a fundraiser. I challenge your channel to make more and donate more to charity than my channel does. And we both agreed. We were both going to raise money for St. Jude's. She lost badly. Oh, I felt bad for her. My channel raised, I think it was $16,000. And her channel, I feel bad saying this, her channel only raised like about $185.
Oh,
it was not good. It was not good. So the payoff was the losing channel, the owner of that channel had to do a lip sync video. I don't know if she did or not. I don't know. I haven't asked her. It's been a while since I talked to her. I need to give her a call.
Okay.
I haven't talked to her in months. I need to give her a call, and I need to ask her, did you do that lip sync video?
Yeah, she needs to own up to that. If not, I mean,
she does. You're right. She does.
It was a deal. It was a little bet.
It was.
Okay. And you know what? Even though she didn't raise that much, it's still money for St. Jude's Hospital, which they do really good work. So
every penny goes to St. Jude's. So I mean, I know I was like, it's only 185, but you know what? It's an extra 185 that St. Jude's did not have. So right. I applaud that. Any charity work is amazing. So, but I always do my fundraisers for St. Jude's. I've done fundraisers for other charities in the past, and I've gotten a lot of criticism. You know, you should have looked into this charity. They're a scam, and you know. Or my favorite, I did a charity for wounded warriors, and I got a lot of flack from people over in Europe and over in Russia who were criticizing me for only supporting the U.S. and I was like, okay, I do see their point. I do get it, but guys, it's a charity. It's like, does it?
Yeah, and it's helping.
Whatever. Like, so I just said, you know what?
It's like you're helping someone, though. You're helping them out.
Right.
It's like, okay, and they're mad because they're not helping the people that they want you to help out. But it's like, okay.
You picked the wrong charity for this band. You should have done Greenpeace for Nightwish. And I'm like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to help people out, So
yeah.
I've just decided that from now on, all of my charity is going to go to St. Jude's because everybody can agree.
You can't go wrong with that.
Children, you can't go wrong with helping out sick kids.
Unless they hate kids.
You just can't. And St. Jude's is international. They bring in kids from all over the world. And they help these kids. They help their families. They don't charge the family a penny. Not even for housing while they're taking care of their kid and giving them. Oh, yeah. Look into St. Jude's. It is amazing. And a lot of these doctors that work at St. Jude's, they do it for free. They don't charge the hospital for their services. And it's such a wonderful model. It really is. And if the world could adopt this model, God, what a world we would live in. Dear Lord.
Just imagine.
It would be a utopian society. It'd be Star Trek. It would. No, think about it. It would be Star Trek. There's no financial transactions. Everybody just does their job and provides for the greater good. There's no greed. It's like that's the problem. Is greed.
Yeah. Well,
everybody
money gets in the way, man. It's all about that cold. Man, But what
It's
is the
all
line
about
in
that
money?
cold hard
Cash.
cash, hun.
That's right. All about the
Yeah.
cold hard cash.
My wife loves
Man, and then they play
screaming
that
that at
riff.
the top of her
Dun,
lungs.
dun, dun, dun,
Yep.
dun, 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 dun.
Uh-huh.
Man, you know that song might not be on one of your top 10 lists, but it's on mine. It's not
catchy.
high up there. It is that line and that riff is so catchy.
Yeah.
Okay.
My wife loves that song. She loves it. And the other song that she loves from them, and I agree with her on this, is Narcisista.
Oh, Narcisista is good.
That's
man.
a great
good
tune.
song.
Great tune. Great tune.
Let's see.
I like that tune too.
Yeah.
So that was the bet that they're talking about, was
Okay.
that Jen has to do a lip sync video.
All right. So we gotta definitely call her and see if she's gonna own up on that. Looks like
Yeah.
we don't have any more questions from the chat here. I will say, David, this has been cool talking to you. You know, they talked
You
about
too.
love bites and the warning. Talked about the ups and downs as being a reactor.
Absolutely.
You shared moments when you had an oopsie. I shared moments when I had an oopsie. I did.
We've
piss off
all
some,
listen.
I pissed off some
we've all
bandmate
made
fans.
those.
You know, shouldn't have done it, but I did. Oops, sorry.
We've all made mistakes,
Yeah.
man. All of us have. You
But
know,
you know what,
and
man? You
one
just
thing
keep on going. You keep doing what
you learn.
Yeah, even though I might have upset some bandmate fans, I still come out with like a bandmate reaction and a very thoughtful bandmate. Like sometimes I'll look at the lyrics. Obviously, they're translated and they're probably poorly translated, but I'll look at the lyrics and try to see like what the meaning is of the song and all that. So I do put effort into that, and I think they see that because there's still some bandmate fans that like this channel. It's just maybe some of the other ones just don't, and that's fine. It's their choice.
That's their choice.
Yeah.
You know, I know I've said things that have really upset people, and they said in the comments, "Well, I'm never gonna watch another one of your videos ever again." I'm just like, bye. Sorry, you know, I'm sorry I upset you. I'm sorry my opinion offended you so much, but you know, maybe you don't belong on this channel. Maybe you'll probably enjoy watching some other reactors channel a little bit more, who will pander to you and, you know, say they love everything they watch, whether they really do or not. And that's fine. If that's what you want to watch, if that's what makes you happy, I want you to be happy. You know, don't stay on my channel if you're not happy, please, because you're only making yourself more unhappy, and as a result, you're making me unhappy. So that's no fun for anybody. So
agree to disagree, or maybe not really. You know, okay, yeah, agree to disagree. I think that summarizes it.
Yeah.
Well, David, it's been great talking with you guys. Guys, it's been great hanging out with y'all. This has been a blast. I hope to do it again.
Yeah, it has.
Definitely want to ask.
Oh, please, anytime. Anytime, seriously, anytime, Dead Man. Anytime you want to hang out, chat, shoot, whatever. Maybe next time, maybe I'll have a little glass of something with me, and we'll cheers each other, and
and we can go into
talk
other
about
things
whatever.
too. Like you're a fan of horror movies. It looks like I think you wore a shirt of
love horror movies.
Camp Crystal Lake. So
love horror movies.
We can shoot the shit about horror movies too.
Love the Misfits. Big Misfits fan, and I love how they incorporate a lot of horror movies into their music. Horror movies, video games, you name it. I could pretty much talk about anything. Sports, if you gotta talk about sports, we can talk about sports.
Yeah,
we can talk about anything you want, man.
All
Your
right,
channel.
Well, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this. So
yes,
press the thumbs up button, all that stuff, and y'all take it easy, man.
Bibbidi boobity bop. I like to say
all that stuff. All right.